What's going on, y'all? This is your host with the most, so have a toast, Leader Johnson. And we're going to talk that Villanova basketball, man. We're going to talk about Villanova basketball recruiting. We're going to talk more about what Villanova basketball is trying to do. It's crazy right now. It is crazy right now what Villanova is doing, what their roster is putting together. And I like it. I told y'all what was going to happen. So we're going to talk more about that, more about Villanova basketball as we come through. Now, let's talk about recruiting we're going to talk about, but let's talk about the newest addition to Villanova basketball. Can we talk about that? Tafar, if I'm saying that right, if I'm saying this right, let's get to it. Can we talk more about what we got going with this roster? And the one roster addition that I want to talk about, no question, with this roster is one guy at forward that I've been talking about for a minute. Let's talk big about Tafar Garpar. If I'm saying that right, forward 6'8". We're going to get to that big time, all right? If I got to get that right, we're going to get that right. Leader Johnson is going to get that right. Definitely for Villanova. Villanova is making a big move here, all right? That's the first thing we're going to say. At power forward with Matthew Hodge, when you got a power forward like this, 6'8", that can play defense, that can stretch the floor, this is big. I don't think people are looking at this big, and I don't think people are looking at this roster. I talk to my guy, Eric Watkins, and I respect what he's saying about the decision because this is a new roster that's being put on here. A new roster, more different than last year. But you got Coach Willard, you got Coach Kevin Lewis, who I also talked to. I'm gonna tell you about that. I talked to him. Coach Greg Manning, Coach Cox. Just a real good class, and you got Coach Howard that's included. That's included with this. It was real big to put him down there with it. If you're looking at the Villanova roster, you're looking at what could be a real good team. And what's the ceiling of this team? I could see Sweet 16. At the highest ceiling is Sweet 16. We're not looking at championship. We're not looking at grade 8. But Sweet 16, I'm going to tell you why that's even included. All right? I'm going to tell you why that's even a big thing to be concluded here with the Sweet 16. Tafara Gaypair from New Zealand, 6'9", forward. What can you say about this guy? I mean, he's there. He is there, man. He's the guy. Listen, this team last year, you're talking about Eric Dixon. You're talking about if it was a Hodge. You're talking about Jordan Dumont. You're talking about what Wooga could do. No, this team is a little bit different. This team is a little bit different. You're looking at this team, looking at what they bring to the table, looking at what Tafara brought. Let's talk about that. Tafara brought to this team. Let's talk about it. Tafara brought 3.4 points a game. Everybody's like, oh, how's that big? 5.1 points a game. This is a guy that only played 10 minutes a game. He didn't even get to exceed his level of what he could do with this team. You know what I mean? This is a guy that has all the talent, has all the ability to play, but just never got it. And a lot of people are not even judging him. I saw Alan Ray. He was like, he just judging him on what he really knows. He doesn't really know about this guy. People don't really know about, what's crazy? The Merlin recruiting lineup, and they're not really judging it big. They don't really know. They don't know about Malcolm Flaggs. They don't know how talented this guy is. They don't know. No, they don't really know. They don't know. So people don't really know how to judge it. And there's a lot of people that's not even the expertise in knowing talent like that. It's really unfair to let people even talk about talent like that. They don't know about Malcolm Flagg and how good he could have been and how the talent that he has and what the chemistry with Duke Brennan. They don't know about that. They don't really know about that. So you got to see where this is all going. You got to see where people is at. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to get big into it of how good these guys are, what they bring to the table. Tafara Gay-Pair, excuse me, if I'm saying it wrong, let me know. A 4-star prospect out of high school. 4-star, number 69 in the nation. Did anybody know that? 9th power forward in this class. The 3-star, he was a 3-star transfer prospect. We're talking about he was a 4-star out of the 2022 class that had Nick Smith, Derek Lively, Kason Wallace, Cal Filipowski, Gigi Jackson, Keontae George, Amari Bailey. This is a good class. Cam Whitmore, number 69 in the nation. So really, listen, let's get to it, man. I've really been fooling around. Listen, let's get to it. Let's get to it. If we're talking about what they have of Villanova, we have to be honest. We have to be extremely honest what Villanova has. And let's get to it as far as what we want to expect. First, we want to get to the starting lineup. That's what we're going to get to. The starting lineup, man. The starting lineup. Villanova starting lineup. I'm very big on that, and I was waiting for this to be finalized. A lot of people are saying, oh, Villanova's not going to go no more. We're being told they're not going to get nobody else. I was saying, Tafara Gay-Pair will commit to Villanova. Will commit to Villanova. This is not a surprise to me. This was not a surprise to see him sign. He was just waiting to see what offers, what else is more, what else could he get from other people. Listen, he knew what was going to happen. Bryce Lindsey, been seeing film of him practicing. Shout out to that, man. He's going to be good. He's going to be definitely good and ready to play. Definitely ready to play and definitely ready to pick up things at an extreme level. I'm really big and happy on this roster right now. And I'm going to tell you why I'm so happy on this roster. This roster is filled with all the right things. All the right things Villanova should have. And we're going to get right to it in just a minute. Coming here with Villanova and where they are. Caden Lewis. Let's talk about the guards. Caden Lewis, Tyler Perkins, Chris Jeffrey, Bryce Lindsey, Devin Askew. That's your rotation. I don't want to hear about anybody else. Malachi Palmer's not going to play there at the guard. Malcolm Flaggs is not going to be your guard. Those are not going to be your rotation guys at guard. Devin Askew was your starter. He's a guy that been here the 6th year in the league in college. Recruited by Kentucky, was a Villanova, was definitely a Villanova guy that was recruited early. So it wasn't unfamiliar that Villanova went after him. He's been one of those guys for a long time. Devin Askew. Anybody want to know who Devin Askew is? It's crazy who doesn't know who Devin Askew is if you've been following Villanova. Devin Askew was a top 37 player, top 50 player, number 37, top 50 player. 7-point guards were only rated, 6-point guards were only rated over him, California high prospect, 6'5" point guard. That's another big thing. He's a 6'5" point guard, which lets you know at 6'5", you have a guy that can command your team at 6'5". That's what Villanova has. Devin Askew is big. He's experienced. He can compete at the highest level. When he was in high school, competed with the highest prospects. People who are downplaying this, I'm just saying, I'm going on both ends. Some people might look at this, oh, he's not that big. How come other guys, how come he didn't? It's always guys trying to downplay it. Last year, Villanova got a good point guard in Jameer Bridges. Neptune did a good job, man. Let's put that out there first. Neptune did a great job. And for him not to get an extra year to capitalize on what he was building, I felt was unfair. But the decision to get Coach Willard was big. The decision to get Coach Willard was huge. Getting Coach Willard was huge. Then the coaching staff, from Coach Norris to Coach Cox to Coach Manning, to get kept Cassie Howard, it was a lot of good moves that was made that's now also being looked at. Villanova felt like basically they just needed to make a change. Like, I didn't agree with taking Neptune out, but Villanova needed to make a change. That's how they felt. I didn't think they needed to take him out, but if you're going to make a change, make a good change. Coach Willard has battled with Big East guys, right? You already know Seton Hall. You got Merlin. Went to another big conference. Went to the tournament. He goes to the tournament. So if there's anything you want to be good about, he has a resume. One thing Cal Neptune didn't have you could fight for was a resume. You had Fordham, but Fordham didn't go to the tournament. But it was a big change he did, because Fordham was like 2-16, and Cal Neptune made him to 16-16. Hell of a change. So you got to give him his credit. All right? Now let's talk about what Villanova's about, and this is what Devin Askew and what he can do and what he adds to the team. Devin Askew adds a lot to the squad because of what he has already encountered. He's already encountered competition. All right? 18.9 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 4.5 points a game. Not only that, he's giving you a good shooting percentage with 37.8% from the three-point line, 88.6% from the line. You have to look at that and look at it big. Their point guard can do all that. Your point guard can give you exactly what you need. Then this is experienced point guard at 6'5". What else are you not getting? You're getting size, you're getting a shooter, you're getting a guy that can score 20 a game. He's going to play tough and he can rebound. Now you're looking at Tyler Perkins. We're looking at Tyler Perkins. I think he's a starter. You know why? Because Perkins has the most experience. Perkins stayed out. That's also the guy that stayed out of everybody. He's the only one left. Last Mohican, besides Wade Chittick and all those guys, I mean, of course, they're not going to get the time. They're just not there for the time. That's just what it is. Tyler Perkins averaged 6.3 points, 4.3 rebounds, 35% from three. He used to get better, 72% from free throw line. Okay. 1.1 steal. Now, I just think Tyler Perkins ends up becoming the starter. Now, there's some things we got to look at that could be a battle. Bryce Lindsey, another guy that they got, transfer. Bryce Lindsey, unbelievable, from James Madison transfer. This is what he did as a freshman, coming out of IMG now. He's from Baltimore, so it was easy for that to be a good acquisition right there. Good. This is a good recruiting class. It's good to get good recruiters, and that was big, very key. These are big time recruiters. Merlin had a great staff, and it comes over here to the Big East, and now it's a big fish they can use even more than using a Merlin. You use a Merlin of Villanova to recruit. Looking at what they're doing in the NBA, looking at what they're doing. That's what it is now. Unbelievable type of team to really blossom with. I'm looking at this team, and I'm looking at Devin Askew, and I'm looking at Tyler Perkins. There's no way in the world where you don't say, and in my opinion anyway, where you don't say Tyler Perkins is not your shooting guard. That's where I go with that. Tyler Perkins is your shooting guard because of his experience, because of what he's a big shot maker. I think he needs the opportunity to be a big shot maker. Tyler Perkins is one of those guys at 6'4". You got a 6'4", 6'5" backcourt now when you're thinking about that. Experienced guys. Now you're looking at Bryce Lindsey. Bryce Lindsey at 13 points a game, 2.8 points per round, 2.2 assists, 40% from three. He's going to be a killer. He's a hell of a player. You look at the film and what he did at James Madison. Okay, one thing is in high school, he was definitely a guy that was a dog. But to see what he did at the next level at James Madison when he was given the time, just think when he gets in, coming off the bench, or if he could start. Look, that shooting guard position is up for grabs. Bryce Lindsey, Tyler Perkins are going to go at it. Two scores. And then you're looking at Caden Lewis. But I don't think Caden Lewis is going to be a shooting guard. They're not going to do the Jalen Brunson, Ryan Archiakino thing. You got 2 point guards back there. But I'm not saying that's not a possibility. Caden Lewis, for anybody that doesn't know who Caden Lewis is, some people don't have their homework with him. They do not. So I got to be here for you. Caden Lewis, one of the top, and he's coming out 2025, so he's going to get automatic time. Automatic time. No question. Caden Lewis, you're getting one of the top guys, number 48 in the nation, 33 in the 247 composite, definitely a 5-star type of player. Wasn't given the 5-star in 247 with us, but I definitely feel he's a 5-star talent. And you're looking at Villanova. You're looking at this, right? And you're putting another 6'2", 170. He's definitely a point guard that can score on. You can shoot. I don't think they will mess up their rotation and put him at number 2 guard when you got 2 guys like Lindsey and Perkins who are killers. Like, what are you going to do? Back up Lindsey when he's really a killer? He's really the scoring point guard more than ever, and then he has the experience of also playing their first year. When you got a Caden Lewis that can back up a Devin Askew, giving the Caden Lewis the chance to let him know he's going to be the future point guard. And that's what they're looking at. Lewis is the future of Villanova. He's going to be the future point guard of Villanova. It's not even a question. He will be the future point guard at Villanova. Caden Lewis is the future point guard. Some people that thought, and there might be some people back there, it's always the backwards thinkers. I ain't saying in a bad term or a good term. The backwards thinkers is the people who think Caden Lewis is going to start this first year. There's no way they would do that. Why would you do that when you got a guy experience who you just paid a lot of money to be your starter, who's been 6 years starting, who's also a former 5-star? You let him start so a Lewis won't have all the pressure. So when he comes off the bench, it's like, oh, that's the bag of tricks. The bag of tricks is Lewis coming off the bench. When I wanted to Villanova to know is that you should be blessed to know that you got 2 point guards and guard you. 2 guys at elite level, came out of high school, elite level type talents. Devin Askew can still be a real good NBA player. It's just the way things turned out. He's still a hell of a player. The man scored 18.9 points a game when he was given a season to do what he had to do. So now you're putting him with a Caden Lewis. Big time. Christian Jeffrey, he's another guy that can play both guard positions. This guy can shoot. He's tough. He'll get his time, but I don't think he'll get much time. Not this year. Next year is when the time will come. When who knows if Perkins will be gone, or we know Devin Askew will be gone. So you got Bryce Lindsey back there with Christian Jeffrey and a Caden Lewis. That's going to be a very interesting backcourt. And then whoever they add, 2026 class, going to be very interesting to see who Villanova goes. We're going to talk more about the 2026 class, but it's something unique to see, man. I really like the team. It's something unique to see. Let's talk about the unbelievable, to me, is the best thing that should have happened. The front court had to get established. It was always problems with size. I always thought there wasn't enough size in Neptune's. He just didn't get it. I mean, he was recruiting guys like Lathan Somerville. He recruited Thomas Sorber. They recruited guys like that. They just didn't get the commitments. They didn't get the commitments from some of the centers, so they stayed a little small. But one thing Willard was able to do was bring size. Braden Pierce. And if I'm saying the name right, man, goodness gracious. Just give me. Nico is one of those guys. Listen, I like the Long Island. I like the Christ the King. I like Long Island Lutheran. I like those guys. I like those type. I like New York schools. If I'm looking at his talent, he's raw. He's more raw because he can rebound. He has agility, he has athleticism, but he hasn't established it yet to give you everything. And what I say by that, what you have to understand is this could be dangerous. Nico Onyekwer, all right? I'm saying it out. He popped up through film. It was like really a surprise they got him. He's 7'1". If Willard and them really develop this guy good, he could really be dominant, or he could be from a solid big man like Daniel Shefu, or he could be a dominant big man. He could look like Omari, or he could look like Daniel Shefu. He has athleticism to jump over you, dunk, rebound, block. He's really going to be. I think he'll be an established shot blocker. I think you just can't stop that length And I think he'll be real good for Villanova as a rebounder and shot blocker for sure. But scoring, I saw some of the moves. I saw the moves from Nico. I saw the moves from Nico. And what I saw from Nico, he looks like a guy that has the ability to be a scorer. And you know what I'm saying? Back to the basket. You got 2 point guards that know how to pass. You got 3 guys that know how to pass on that. So now you got guys that are going to cater to you as a point guard. And I'm really interested about this. I'm really intrigued. They went and got the 3-star center. You got Braden Pierce. You got 2 7-footers. And these guys, do I see superstar? No, I don't see star. I see good players. I see Braden Pierce is a guy. Both guys have the talent, the ability to score 10 points a game. Braden Pierce more because I just see his finished product. I haven't seen Nico's finished product, but you see the talent. And, man, to be real, I'm just going to be honest to be real with y'all. Nico looks like a guy that could be he could be a star, but I can't call him one right now until I see it because he's developing. As a raw talent, it's what you see that can develop that hasn't developed yet. And I mean, man, he's so, you know why I said it? Because he's so quick, fast. He makes every move fast with his rebounding, spin moves, turnaround jumpers. If he masters that, he's already 7-1. He's already a mismatch problem. Villanova could have a star on their hands. Braden Pierce is the guy. Listen, Braden Pierce has the ability to shoot the 3, not at a consistent level, but he's tried those 3s and he's hit them. So you better watch out for him. You talk about Ryan Kilbrenner type of offensive ability with size. I'm not saying he's going to become Ryan Kilbrenner, but he has that ability. What I see is that Coach Willard is a good coach. Look what he did with Derek Queen. Look what he did with them guys. Look how he developed Rodney Rice. So I see this turning out to be real good. I'm sorry, y'all can talk all the down y'all want, but these guys are going to end up being good, solid guys, 10, 11-point game guys that can rebound, shot block, that can influence a game. You're looking at Matthew Hodge and Tafara Gay-Pair. Tafara Gay-Pair, and that's the big line. That's the big one. Who's going to start between them two? Matthew Hodge is hungry. He's ready. I think he feel disrespected by it. Whoever say he was academically eligible, he was ready to play. A guy that's graduated from high school, ready to take the next step, and you're going to tell him he did something wrong that you know he didn't do wrong. He's going to come through and really dominate. I see the Sadiq Bey and Matthew Hodge. I see that type of star because when Sadiq Bey was recruited, I was like, he was a number 2 guy in DC, and he was such an all-around talent. I just remember when they visited Villanova campus and I talked to him and he was there with his parents. I was like, man, this dude is really good. I saw the Sidwell Friends tape. I was like, Jesus. I mean, a lot of good games that he had and he looked good. Matthew Hodge has the same ability, man. I swear, if you want to talk about an exact Villanova talent that looks like Matthew Hodge looks like another Sadiq Bey. That's what he looks like. Tafara Gay-Pair, if I had to say him, if you want me to say, I can give you a comparison. John Collins out of the NBA. His game is more like that. He's an athletic guy. He can shoot the outside. All you gotta do is put him in a good system, let him work on his shot, and he can develop into another 11-point a game guy. I mean, I see him like that. Now, Hodge is a little better. I think Hodge can get to 14, 15. I just think he's a different monster. I really do. I don't think this year Hodge will get to that, but in college level, this year, if Gay-Pair starts, I still think they're all gonna get important time. Whoever doesn't start gonna get like 7 points a game. I see Hodge getting that this year, and I see Gay-Pair maybe getting 9 a game. I see that popping off, him getting known. But if you look at we'll come back to that. I'm not finished with it, but that's what it looks like right now. Then you look at the small forwards. Zion Stanford's a 13, 14-point a game player on just right now. I mean, just thinking about it. This guy's good. He reminds me, his offensive repertoire reminds me of Justin Moore. That's how he plays. I mean, this is how he plays. Malachi Palmer. Nobody's talking about this. And Malcolm Flagg. Now Malcolm Flagg's in the twist. Who's Malcolm Flagg? You say Lita Johnson. This guy averaged this and that. Man, have y'all really did y'all homework on who these guys are? He's not going to be a star, but he's going to be a good player, impact player. This is college. You don't need you need good players, tough players. And Flag can play defense. He can pass the ball, and he can shoot. I'm just confused. He can average anywhere from 8 to 11 a game. Because if he get that shot off, and the reason I'm giving you all these points because everybody's going to have to spread the ball around. Always did that, but we don't know who's going to be the automatic. I think Devin Askew will be the automatic best player on that team. Y'all can say what y'all want, but him and Zion Stanford and Duke Brennan are your guys. They're your guys. Say what you want. No. Those are the guys we're going to depend on right now. Because Duke Brennan is a double-double guy, and it's no question he's going to be able to get the double-double. I think he's a big guy. He can play the center position sometimes. He'll be able to post you up. And then you got Flag, two guys with chemistry. Flag's going to get the talent. They wouldn't have recruited Flag because of Duke if that wasn't important to them. Okay, we're going to give Flag time because, that's why Duke is his boy. They ain't going to sit him on the bench and you sit there and you got Duke there playing. They're going to look bad as an organization. That'll be some bad as a program. But Malcolm Flagg is going to be a guy to get some time, but he's not going to get time over Zion Stanford. Now, who else is there? Malachi Palmer. He's going to get time. Y'all got to look at this. They got Malachi Palmer and Christian Jeffrey over there from Maryland. It's a reason why they brought him over. These guys are going to get time. Palmer's not going to average big right now. He might be 3-4 points a game. Jeffrey, 2 points a game. They're going to get their time, but I don't necessarily, that is a very tough question between Malcolm Flagg and Palmer. I think they'll play for see who gets minutes because Flagg just got there too, just got in college too. Like they got the same type of separation as far as who has more time. Malcolm Flagg is a guy. I got a lot of respect for him because the guy can play hard as hell and he can shoot. He's 6'6". He's gonna come in there. He's gonna play. What you got to realize is that him and Malachi Palmer both are playing. They're playing and they just started. So that's the good thing. Like they just started really playing. So I'm talking about they just started entering the college play. Last year, he was a sophomore. Flag will have time. That's what I'm saying. Like Malachi Palmer is different. He was a freshman. And he's going to get his time, but he has more time than he has. So they're both going to be on this team for a minute. They're not going to go anywhere. I think Malcolm Flagg really is a Villanova Wildcat. He's the guy that probably won't transfer. Malachi Palmer, we'll see what it is. I'm just saying this for real about guys who could transfer. I mean, Perkins could transfer next year. Once he hits his mark and people start shifting money, he's seeing what Nova has coming in. Christian Jeffrey, they recruiting guys. He already knows it's better for him to transfer anyway. They had plans for him this year, but they're coming through with a whole nother plan of getting the team together. Malachi Palmer, like I said, he was a freshman last. He'll be a sophomore this year. Malcolm Flagg will be a junior this year. They're both going to battle for their time. It's going to be very interesting. Who I think will win, who I think is better. This is not a disrespect to anyone. Malcolm Flagg is a good player, but Malachi Palmer is something different. Harrisburg, PA, this guy is explosive. I mean, Villanova, out of everybody they got, this is the one guy I'm like, oh, my God, they got him? You got him and Caden Lewis? This is great for the future. I think he's going to be a star in Villanova, no question. I think if you look at that team, you're thinking about looking at this squad. We'll talk about Duke Brennan and everybody in a minute. If you're looking at their squad, you're talking about, as the future goes, Malachi Palmer, Matthew Hodge, Braden Pierce, maybe Nico. One of them two guys are going to get in there. I think Braden Pierce, but Nico, I mean, I just think he has so much talent that he could, but we're going to see what happens. Braden Pierce is there. I'm going to give it to Braden Pierce. Caden Lewis and Bryce Lindsey. That is a hell of a future. Everybody that's discounting is because they haven't seen them all play together. They're all young. Bryce Lindsey is coming off a freshman season. Malachi Palmer didn't play last season. Tafari Gapair only had 10 minutes last year. People are all not looking at the talent that these guys got and how good of a coach Coach Willard is. He wouldn't have got guys. He would have went right out there like everybody else and spun on. He would have spent $3 million on Rodney Rice, who got $3 million per year. He would have spent all that if he didn't think that these guys were ready right now. Caden Lewis was the guy he wanted. He wasn't going to spend $3 million per year on the guy when he got Caden Lewis. He going to go for that. And he knew he was going to bring Tafara in there. He knew it. And that's going to be the two biggest battles. Matthew Hodge against Tafara Gaper and Tyler Perkins versus Bryce Lindsey. Those are going to be, and then Malachi Palmer versus Malcolm Flagg on the bench. That's going to be the biggest battles. And then also, won't be too much. We'll see how it goes. It's real interesting about the power forward position. Duke Brennan, was Duke Brennan going to be the power forward or the center? Because if he's the center, then you got Matthew Hodge backing that up. Then you got Tafara Gaper either starting or he's going to be on the bench. It's very interesting. They can have three centers, or you could put Duke Brennan on the power forward, and you got Braden Pierce. But I don't think that's going to work now with Tafara Gaper there. I think Duke Brennan is going to be the center. I think there's no question Duke Brennan is the center now. But with Tafara Gaper, there is no question. Because now, if you put Duke Brennan at power forward, you're going to have to start Braden Pierce with Nico. And now there's a log jam at the power forward position when you just brought in Tafara Gaper and you got Matthew Hodge. I think they're not going to do that. Because now you're going to have to say, okay, Duke Brennan is there. Who's going to back up? Who's going to get more time? You got a log jam now with three guys. Instead of then you got Braden Pierce and experience at center. They're not going to do that. They got experience across the board. And I think the starting lineup will be Duke Brennan, Tafara Gaper, Zion Stanford, Tyler Perkins, and Devin Askew. I think they want experience. Unless, you start seeing some guys just take over. That happens. Let's talk about recruiting, okay? One thing I want to tell y'all, Anderson Diaz. That's the first guy. Let's start. Let's start with Anderson Diaz. Let's start with that. Anderson Diaz is a super big time point guard prospect. We're gonna get more into that real quick. But he's a guy that told me that Villanova's recruiting him, 2027 point guard, big-time player, explosive, can make decisions on the go. I mean, one of those type of guys, big-time guy. He told me, I went ahead and talked to him, hit him up, and he told me that Villanova's recruiting him. Also, Caden Samuels. Anybody know who Caden Samuels is? We'll get to that. We got some stuff to get to, y'all. We getting right there. Let's go to 2026 class first, and we'll start with that. 2025 class is big, 44 ranked. Let's go back to that first, okay? 2025 class is a class we want to talk about because we got the transfers there. Caden Lewis, very big, come up 48th in the class. Also, you're looking at Nico Onyekor, another guy. I know y'all like, oh, man, you don't know his guy's name. No, I don't. I'm sorry about that, y'all, but I definitely know the way these guys play. I know how good they are. No question. Let's go through it. Number 44 rank. Also, the transfer rank is 59th. Chris Jeffrey, they got him out of there, 71 ranked in the class. 48th ranked in the class is Caden Lewis, who's the fifth best combo guard in their class. 13th ranked combo guard Chris Jeffrey. So they got two guys for guard you who can play both positions. Guards is big. Nico Onyekor, the sixth best prospect in New York. I mean, it's interesting. I really see a lot of good. This guy can really come up and dominate the Big East. No question. If he puts his talent together, Long Island Lutheran, he played with Kyan Anthony and Mingo boys. I mean, he could really be something good. Looking at the transfers they got, Malachi Palmer, Malcolm Flaggs, Devin Askew, Duke Brennan, Bryce Lindsey, Braden Pierce, Zion Stanford, Tafari Gapler. I mean, what are we talking about? This is a very good. The thing is that this is the only weakness of that. They don't have no experience together as a team, so there's going to be some hiccups. But looking at this team, and you want to break it down, Devin Askew would be your point guard. You got shooting guards that can shoot. You got big men that can rebound, shot block, and you got a small. You got a small for the three position. These guys can drive on you to score too, so that's big. 2026 class. Let's go there. 2026. This is huge here because this is the next class. Always a good rebound for the 2025 class. You had guys like Dante Allen decommit. From last year's class, you had Malcolm Thomas leave, Zai Mosley leave. So Sas left. So that was big. So they had to get a new class of new people. In the 2026 class, Anthony Brown is considered by 247 Sports as the number one target. He's definitely a guy that's interested in Villanova. Guys like Tristan Collins, Jordan Smith interviewed Deron Rippey Jr., who was tearing it up. Jackson Richardson, very good offer. I talked to Caden Samuels, a 4-star shooting guard recently. He just talked to me recently and told me, yes, Villanova is still recruiting him. He's the number one guy in Maryland, the 22nd prospect in the class. Villanova is recruiting him hard. Luca Foster, another guy that Villanova is still after. Missouri prospect, number one Missouri prospect, number 34 ranked. He's really rose up. We're going to see a lot. Jaden Hyde is definitely on a lot of people's eyes, 49th ranked prospect in the class of that class, Mount Verdi Academy. They just offered Anthony Falesi. A lot of good prospects still doing what they got to do. I got an interview coming soon from Favor AB. He's a center, 7'1", 235. 3-star, one of the prospects out of Merlin. Villanova's after Cole Rosario. Talked to him. They just re-offered them. So they're after the one of the top North Carolina prospects in the nation. A very rising prospect. Could rise up to a high 4-star. Justin Kyle-Wells, another guy they offered. I talked to him. He's a guy that Villanova is after, and he's very interested. So look at that one. Looking at, it's a very good class. Very good. I mean, it's a very good, very talented class and some good offers. 2027 is exciting. I mean, you're super exciting for Villanova. They're going to offer Baba Aladotin. They offered them. He's number one prospect by 247 in the class. To me, Ryan Hampton's number one. And Boba is number 2. But that could change next week. These two dudes, Ryan Hampton, Boba Aladotin. Boba is, he's a hell of a talent. He's long. He can take you over. He can frustrate you, run up a transition, good defensive player. And Ryan Hampton can do the same thing. It's just Ryan Hampton is more smooth with it. I watched RJ Hampton. I got some news about Ryan Hampton. I watched RJ Hampton develop. I saw him do his thing. And he just, it's like all over again. It's all over again. But he's so much younger. Caden Doherty, Villanova prospect. They're into him. He's into them too. He's mutual prospect, mutual interest. Jacoby Briscoe. Villanova's very high. He's very high on Villanova. If you wanted me to tell you some guys in 2027, Jacoby Briscoe and Caden Doherty are two guys to look at. Anthony Brown's also a guy to look at. I don't know about Anderson Diaz and how much he would be willing to, but we'll have to see how that goes. Anderson Diaz is a hell of a point guard, and they're after him. Boba Oladuton, that is very interesting to look at because Coach Willard, let's just calm down for a minute about some people might look at that. Villanova, don't look at this coaching staff and be like, they can't get the number one guy. They can't get the number 2 or 3 guy. This is a different coaching staff. These guys have relationships with guys like Boba Oladuton, and you're looking at guys like that, and it's like, it can really turn the tides. Now, Ryan Hampton, I'm cool with the Hampton family. And Coach Norris I talked to Coach Norris. Ryan's father told me that Coach Norris was the one recruiting him. And I talked to Coach Norris, and Coach Norris is very high and is going to recruit Ryan Hampton hard. So Ryan Hampton is one of Villanova's top targets. No question. There's a priority. And I'm telling you, look for this to turn up and be one of, listen, Villanova, I don't know if he's going to commit to Villanova, but Ryan Hampton is definitely a priority to him. Bo Aladuton, these are two guys, 1 and 2. Aladuton's from Merlin. That's where I go with that. Like, just think of that. This is a Merlin recruiting class. And I told people, oh, they're going to be more close to getting Merlin people now. One guy was like, no, they're not. He's not a Merlin guy. You know how many Merlin people he's still recruiting, and you know the people he got that was involved with Merlin? Man, they are, and their coaching staff is excited to be in Villanova. They are excited to have this job. They are turned up to the max. They know it's more guys are going to be wanting to come to them because of the school they got. The school sells itself. Darius Wabbington is another guy they offered. We're going to see a lot of. I want to see. I'm going to find out more news, like on Manuel Gregg. We're going to find out more news on him. Let's see where he's at. 27th ranked guy in the class. I'll get more Miles Fuentes. I'll get more news on that. I remember Jeremy Jenkins. I'll be getting more news on guys like that. But just look at the 2027 class. And then Edison Diaz is one guy. Bobo Aladuton and Ryan Hampton. And the crazy thing about that is that we can see if they can get both of them. Could you imagine Villanova getting Anderson Diaz at point guard, Ryan Hampton at shooting guard, and Bobo Aladuton at power forward or small forward? Could you imagine? It could definitely happen. It could happen. They could even get Caden Doherty as a backup point guard, come in, boom, but that won't happen. But as I say, Anderson Diaz come in, it's going to be Caden Lewis's show. So Diaz or whatever point guard comes in is going to be able to comfortable running it till their time. That's just it. It's a lot of guys that they are interested in getting. In 2028 class, let's talk about that one. That's a big one. I've been, kind of able to interview some prospects for 247. Brilliant Moses. Listen, Brilliant Moses is one of the best. I think he could be the best, potentially the best. He's a top 5 prospect in that class. There's no question that guy is something different. Nash and Jalen Avery, they're both cousins. I just got to talk with a basketball recruiting director who knows both of them. They are high for Villanova targets in 2028. Nash Avery is 6'9", 201, out of Maryland, North County High School. Archbishop Ryan, Philadelphia. Jalen Avery, that's his cousin. That's even better because you got Maryland and Philadelphia now. That's big. Something big to see. So now you're looking at those 3 guys. Let's look at the recruiting of now. This is a more high profile or aggressive class of coaches. Dwayne Anderson was good. Mike Nardi was good. Howard is still there. He was one of the best in PA, one of the best in all of college basketball assistant coaches and recruiters. But these guys are different. You hear their names. You hear people mention them. They recruited Merlin hard, and now they're going to PA. This is a different atmosphere. But these guys are going to be super aggressive. Are they better? No, but they're more aggressive. They're more aggressive. This coaching staff is more aggressive. Way more. Too many number 1 prospects are being offered. They offer Baba, the old coaching staff offer Baba. They offer Baba. Who wouldn't? They didn't offer Ryan. They didn't offer as many high-ranked recruits as I see these guys offer. They didn't go after so many recruits. And I mean, it was a lot of recruits Villanova went after, but not like the guys now they're going after. Even in 2028, you're going after 2 cousins who are big-time, highly ranked, and who are high-ranked prospects in their class. 2 cousins. Boom. I mean, you wouldn't have saw Villanova just go after that. They might have went after one guy or fell back and fell. It just don't seem like it was that aggressive. Dwayne Anderson is one of the best. Whoever's out there and they got him, hire that man. Mike Nardi is going to be good at UConn. You hire Neptune, especially the assistant coaches are recruited. He's going to get you some guys. Ashley Howard is no secret why he was hired back at Villanova. But these guys they got on their coaching staff are way more aggressive. They're aggressive like guys was when they were under Jay Wright, when they had Ashley Howard, when they had Baker Dunleavy, and when they had Cal Neptune. That's how aggressive this Villanova. As far as going in recruiting, we're not talking about if Coach Willard's going to be Jay Wright. That's impossible. He's going to be Coach Willard. Not going to be Jay Wright. He's going to be a winning Coach Willard. But the assistant coaches are just as aggressive as the Gurley Service guys were. I mean, they're really going after some guys, and they're going to be even more because they're not going away from one and dones. They're going after everyone. So this is interesting right now. This is real interesting. I tell you what, before I get out of here, man, I'm going to let y'all know when I come back next, I'm going to talk about Villanova football, a lot of recruits, recruiting classes. We're going to talk about them moving to the Patriot League, Villanova football. We're going to talk about more Villanova basketball. We're going to come back and we're going to break down more on recruiting classes and who else is up for grabs. I got a lot more. I got a lot more interviews coming for 247 and a lot more coming for high level sports. So this is big. Listen, when y'all go back, the people who just got here, when y'all go back, look at this podcast, there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff about recruits, a lot of answers on recruits who are high on Villanova. I'm out of here, y'all. This is Leader Johnson, man, and follow the leader.